All right, today we're going somewhere fascinating. It's a place that feels more alien than anything you'd see in science fiction. But guess what? It's right here on our own planet. We're talking about the deep sea.
Just look at that number, 95%. That's how much of Earth's living space is in the deep ocean. It's just this massive, massive realm that, for the most part, we've barely even scratched the surface of.
So, are you ready to take the plunge with us? We're about to go on a virtual dive, a guided expedition from the sunny surface all the way down into that crushing, dark abyss.
Okay, so as we start to go down, the world you're familiar with, it vanishes almost instantly, and it's replaced by a world of total extremes.
I mean, the scale is just mind-blowing. We're talking about a space so vast, it could easily hide 20 Washington monuments stacked right on top of each other. And as you go deeper, everything changes. The light disappears, the temperature plummets, and the pressure? Well, the weight of all that water creates a force that is honestly hard to wrap your head around.
It's like a tale of two completely different worlds, right? All the rules we know on the surface, sunlight, warmth, low pressure, they get thrown right out the window. To survive down there, you need a whole new playbook. The adaptations these creatures have are they're absolutely wild.
All right, let's keep going. Our plunge is going to take us through these different layers, these distinct zones of the deep ocean, and each one has its own vibe and its own cast of incredible creatures. Okay, first stop, the Twilight Zone. This is where things start to get really interesting. The last little bits of sunlight fade away here, and life has to get creative. You see animals with these massive eyes trying to catch every last photon of light. And, this is cool, a lot of them start making their own light. That's bioluminescence for you. Now we're going even deeper, into the Midnight Zone. And it's exactly what it sounds like, complete and total darkness. Any light you see down here is being made by the animals themselves. Life here is slow. It's all about conserving every single ounce of energy because food is incredibly scarce. And here we are, the abyss. The pressure down here is just insane. Think about it, up to 600 times what we feel right now. To handle that, the creatures have evolved these truly alien-looking forms. Take the tripod fish. It literally uses its fins like stilts to just chill on the seafloor. How cool is that? Okay, this is it, the final stop. We're in the Hadal Zone. We're talking about the very bottom of the deepest trenches on the planet. This place is so extreme, so remote, only a few people have ever seen it with their own eyes. And yet, even down here, life finds a way. You've got amazing creatures like the Hadal snailfish, just living.
So you might think the seafloor is just endless mud, right? And a lot of it is. But then you find these incredible little pockets of life. They're like oases in the middle of a desert, but a desert of darkness. And they're not powered by the sun. They run on completely different energy sources. One of the most mind-blowing examples is something called a whale fall. So imagine a huge whale dies and its body sinks all the way to the bottom. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet, the size of a building suddenly appearing in the middle of nowhere. It creates this whole new, thriving ecosystem that can last for decades.
And it's not just a free-for-all. The whole thing happens in these really distinct stages. First, you get the big guys, the sharks and hagfish, coming in for the soft tissue. After that, this army of so-called zombie worms moves in to eat the fats inside the bones. And finally, bacteria finish the job. Absolutely nothing is wasted. It's got to be the most efficient recycling program on the planet.
Then you've got these other spots, hydrothermal vents. These are basically cracks in the Earth's crust, just blasting out water that's ridiculously hot. You'd think nothing could live there, right? But nope, it's a bustling city. The life there doesn't care about sunlight. It thrives on toxic chemicals. They use this process called chemosynthesis to make their own energy. It's a whole different way of life.
And if you thought that was weird, get this. Brine lakes. These are literally underwater lakes. They're leftover pockets of ancient seas that are so incredibly salty and dense, they just sit there on the ocean floor and don't mix with the water around them. They even have a shoreline. For most animals, they're deadly. But for certain microbes, it's paradise.
So, the big question is, how does anything manage to survive down here? The pressure, the cold, the dark. Well, the strategies these creatures have come up with are as diverse as they are ingenious. Seriously, it's like a masterclass in evolution.
Think about it. In a world of absolute black, being able to make your own light is basically a superpower. And they use it for everything.
You've got the famous anglerfish with its glowing lure, you have creatures that flash bright lights to scare off predators, and others that use light signals to find a mate in that huge, dark expanse.
But, not everyone has flashy superpowers. For a lot of creatures, survival depends on something a bit less glamorous. It's called marine snow. It's just this constant, slow shower of, well, organic stuff. Dead animals, plankton, waste, all drifting down from above. But that snow is the primary food delivery service for the entire deep ocean. It fuels everything.
And then there are the commuters. Get this. Every single night, the largest migration on the entire planet happens. It's called the diel vertical migration. Billions of animals swim up from the depths to the surface to feed, all under the cover of darkness. Then, before the sun comes up, they all swim back down to the safety of the deep. Every single day.
So, okay, we know all this stuff, but how? Getting down there is obviously a huge technological challenge. But scientists have come up with some pretty incredible tools to start peeling back that curtain of darkness and explore what is truly Earth's final frontier.
Yeah, it's a real combination of tech. You have things like HOVs, that's human-occupied vehicles, where scientists can actually go down themselves. Then you have ROVs, which are robots they pilot from the ship, and AUVs, which are autonomous robots that just go off and explore on their own. And with all of these, we're slowly, piece by piece, mapping this hidden world.
But, what we're finding down there, it isn't always this pristine, untouched wilderness. This quote from the Smithsonian really hits home. We're finding our trash, plastic, at the very bottom of the Mariana Trench. It's a pretty stark reminder that our impact reaches everywhere, even the places we can barely get to ourselves.
And that really leaves us with a big, important question, doesn't it? The deep sea is the largest habitat on our planet, and for the first time in history, we have the technology to really see it, to explore its mysteries. So as we do that, what's our responsibility to protect it? What you should take away from all this is that as we shine a light on this final frontier, we also have to decide how we're going to be its stewards for the future.